Welcome to Beacon Pines episode 7. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It is a short one, but let's get straight on into it. So maybe a hum there? Try that out as an option. Try hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out.
Did it?
A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
So pretty.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
Yo, imagine if quote-unquote Gran is actually our mom, but in disguise. How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me that are my dad and your mother. She is! Oh my gosh.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across.
He's been living with his mom for 6 whole months and he didn't know! Oh my gosh!
Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom!
He sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. He fell in love. He had a crush on his dead best friend's wife. Who looked older, clearly, but still. You don't understand. He always wins. Uh-oh.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant.
Oh?
It was some sort of laboratory.
There's no pictures.
In one corner was a desk covered in
Well,
papers.
pictures.
Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base.
Huh.
She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempest liquamen.
The stuff that they're mining?
There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time.
Run!
Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
The festival. And that is what change is all about. We're here, grabbing the future by the scruff of its neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar! Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd, and it's just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated... Miss Hatford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little lamb. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have a whole town gathering in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. We got back up. Let's go. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... What? That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take him away. No, I want them to see this. What if he's like the Sharper Valentine or something? And like they did experiments on him and it turned him to a child? Imagine. The ever tumultuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but thank you for that rousing oratory. I'll take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You've done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are the most gracious. He is! Oh my... So many plot twists today.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense of the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
So what's keeping him
A
young?
triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
It's changing back.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd.
Oh,
This
he looks
is a
evil.
story
Jeez.
about change.
The face. What? No. Ha, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. The festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Sharper Valentine. They renamed it from Beacon Pines to Sharper Valentine? Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
They let go of her. Where's the rest of them? Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy! Daddy! I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. An opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustine. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focusing on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's alright, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take off the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. Oh, throwing him under the bus right there. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a Pat C the whole time? Now that your secret's out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to the clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears the most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha, young hero. I've kept an eye on you, boy. You and your friends have made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I've won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now, time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer
Weirdo.
factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers
I
across
mean,
the
they had
countryside
to.
began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous.
Was he like this the whole time? Before he
A
died?
secretive town that,
What a
for the right price,
dude he had.
shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end.
That can't be the end either.
This is wrong,
Very.
but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it.
Close.
Right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Thanks for watching episode 7 of the Beacon Let's Play. This was a short episode, but the next one is going to be quite long, so watch out for that as we go through the finale of the Beacon Pines Let's Play.